So many of us will be hitting the water this summer, taking the whole family out for some fun.
This usually includes the family dog, right? Joining us this morning to give us tips on taking the dog for a swim is Dr. Lori Teller, Clinical Associate Professor with the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences at Texas A&M University. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. I know it's early. Thanks for being up with us. We appreciate you shedding some light on this. Dr. Teller, I guess most of us think, well, dogs just naturally know how to swim, but is that really the case?
It is not. Some breeds are naturally water dogs, like Labrador retrievers. Poodles actually are water dogs, and many of them like to swim. Other dogs, they get in the water and they can paddle, but they may not even be able to keep their heads above water. Common dogs like that would be pugs and Frenchies, where all their weight is in their head, and they really can't get their body in the right position to actually swim.
And I guess the dog maybe doesn't know that, and that's part of the scary thing. I mean, I raised two boxers that we adopted, and they just naturally, well, they were mixes, but they naturally jumped in the water, I think, after me and instinctively paddled. But I guess I could have been worried, or maybe I should have taken a little more caution. Doc, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's really important especially if you have a pool, find out if your dog can swim. Yeah. Don't just toss your dog into the water. That can cause a little bit of trauma there. But if your dog is interested, put it in the pool, be right there, see if it is capable of swimming, show it how to get out of the pool. But if it doesn't like the water, if it cannot swim, then your best investment would be a doggy life jacket, and have your dog wear it whenever y'all are out by the pool, so it won't drown if it does end up in the water.
Okay, excellent tip. Our dogs like to stand at the edge of the pool and just bark at us while we swim. Like, come on, get back in the AC. What are we doing out here? Dr. Teller, what if your dog wants nothing to do with swimming? Do you suggest anything?
Yeah, well, one thing, don't make it swim, but that doesn't mean that they may not like standing by the edge of the pool or going to the beach and frolicking at the edge of the water. They may enjoy playing with the kids on a slip and slide or a small kiddie pool in the backyard where they can just step in and get cool. And some dogs may not want anything to do with the water, but that doesn't mean they may not like a homemade popsicle made out of chicken broth or something like that as well. So lots of ways to keep our pets cool, even if they don't want to get in the water.
Oh, that's a great trick too. The frozen chicken broth.
I know. I knew that recipe.
Hey, Doc, is there any way to decode, and maybe this is too specific of a question, but to like decode the barks at the edge of the pool? Because sometimes, to be honest, I wonder, it's like, is the dog annoyed that we're swimming so close, or does it just want to play and it's kind of scared of the water? Like, how do we decode that sound?
I think you've covered it. Yeah, sometimes they just want to play, but they're scared of the water. So you may have to find a different way to play with them. Sometimes they may be worried about you because they don't trust the water and they're scared something's going to happen to you as well.
Okay. Doctor, are there certain bodies of water like lakes or rivers that should be avoided for pets? What can you tell us?
Definitely. So very stagnant warm water is prime for growing something called blue-green algae or cyanobacteria, and those are extremely toxic to our pets. They can cause liver failure, neurologic symptoms, seizures, and there is no antidote for that. They're highly fatal. So if you see something like that in the lakes or ponds where you want to swim, just avoid it. And a lot of times our parks department will even have alerts. So if you know where you're going to go, check the website, see if that lake or pond is safe or if they have a blue-green algae warning, and avoid it like the plague.
Very good to know. I mean, along those lines, what about, I mean, kind of back to the pool, what about the chemicals that we're using in the pool? Should we be nervous about that at all with regard to the health of our dogs?
So definitely the concentrated chemicals, like if you shock your pool or if you keep the chemicals near the pool, those are also extremely toxic. A pool that is well maintained with the right pH, if your dog swallows a little bit of that water, not a big deal. Should not be its major water source. So always have fresh water available. And of course, if your dog does get into some of the concentrated pool chemicals, definitely get to the veterinarian and let them know.
In terms of post-pool, we should be rinsing our dogs off if they've been exposed to all that chlorine, right?
Yeah, after they've been in the pool or at the beach or in a pond, it's always a good idea to rinse the chemicals off or the dirt and debris, just with some warm, not hot water, and just get all that stuff off of them. Dry them really well, especially skin folds and ears, things like that, because that's a right place for infections to take place, and just helps to keep them clean and avoid problems after the swim.
Doc, we were talking about having good times with our dogs in the water, near the water, but it is so hot out there. What are some really quick tips you can give for when you know your dog's had too much sun or heat out there?
Get them into a cool place. If they seem overheated, wrap them in a cool wet towel, not ice cubes, not ice cold. If you have reasons to be concerned about heat exhaustion or heat stroke, that is also a medical emergency. So wrap them in those cool, damp towels and then seek veterinary care immediately. Dogs cannot sweat and alleviate heat the way we do, and so it is much easier for them to suffer from heat stroke as well. And a quick tip as well, if you want to spray them down with a garden hose, or if you're rinsing them off after they've been swimming, run all that hot water out of the hose before you put the hose water on your dog, because that initial water is scalding hot and can cause major burns and permanent scarring.
Thank you for that
Great point.
reminder.
I mean, I feel it on my hand before I put it in the water bowl. It's like, let me just make sure that we got it all out of there
We've all tried to drink from a hot hose too before. It's the worst. So excellent tip right there.
Thank you, doctor, so much. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.